Hi, this is Ellen from Into Shape. I'm going to show you a 3-minute video about what you can do on a bike. And I am going to show you more about endurance training than about interval training. I've been teaching spinning for about 20 years. And in that time, I've changed my technique a lot. And the reason I have is because I've gotten injured. And I would say the number one reason why I've gotten injured is because I've worked out too intensely. And when I work out too intensely, what happens is I don't know when to stop. And I want to go beyond the point of failure, a few more, and what that's done is it's made me use muscles that I shouldn't be using in ways that I shouldn't be, and I've ended up getting hurt. So I'm going to show you how to start out spinning or how to start out endurance. And the thing I'm going to say to you is less is more. It takes a while to build your endurance up. It takes a while to strengthen your muscles and tendons and ligaments. Sure, I can go and I can swing 25-pound bicep curls, okay? But the next day or 2 weeks later, I'm going to hurt. So I'm going to show you how to start out slowly but surely and keep yourself safe. And the principles that you're going to practice here today are things that you can apply to any type of cardiovascular exercise. You also want to work on form and speed, because as we get older, and we're all getting older, we slow down. So be careful not to add too much resistance when you're on any type of machine before you get the form correctly. We all are impatient. We all want to sweat. We all want to burn. And that's the biggest thing I see with my clients is they're like, wow, she doesn't push us hard enough. Or I do push you hard enough. I push myself hard enough. That's the whole problem, is I push myself too hard. And I think in the process is that people feel like they have to measure up to me. And it's about them. I want you to be able to work out for the rest of your life and not get hurt, okay? So if we're on a bike or we're on a bike at home or we're doing anything electrical, you want to make sure that you adjust yourself correctly. And I'm not going to go into that today because that's a whole nother can of worms. But I'm going to tell you, basically you want to have your legs on the straight, the slight bend in the knee. When you're cycling, you don't have a flat back. When you think about, you have a little arch in the back here and a little arch up here in your thoracic region. And you're breathing in and you're breathing out. So where does that breath come from? Where does your power come from? Your breath and your core. And what I like to think about is on the bike is that your feet, your legs, and your arms right now are just appendages, and it all happens here. Okay, everything happens here. So you want to be able to move the core. You want to be able to move from the waist without moving the rest of the body. And I always think about a boxer. Okay, a boxer, they have to be able to move from here. If they can't move and they're tight here in the shoulder, guess what? They're not going to be able to get behind the punch. And the same thing for your leg. If you don't push down with that heel hard enough, or pull up with the oblique or the abs, your knee up high enough with the hip flexor, okay, you're not going to be able to sustain or get any power. And every time you want that knee or that foot, that heel to come underneath the hip. Okay, so I'm riding along. If my back starts to hurt, I breathe in and I breathe out. Really good for the posture, okay? So you breathe in, you have to let the tower, the air come up, breathing in, the knees rise, hip flexor. You blow out, the knees lower, and then the heels and the butt take over. You breathe in, you breathe out. Your shoulders should always be in front of you. You breathe in, the nose goes up, the nose goes down, okay? So here we go for a ride. I'm going to give it about 3 minutes, okay? I'm going to turn on my timer. And we're going to go ahead and start. So we're just starting out on what I call a flat road. You want to, if you don't have a lot of tension on it, this is where people hurt themselves when they first start spinning, because their back. They start doing this and then that. So you need to control everything from the core. So that, because your feet, that flywheel is heavy, and it wants to go all over the place. The same thing with your elliptical, okay? So you need to control it from here. Breath, 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 breath. And you want to relax the ankles. The thing you don't want to do is push from the inside of the ankle to outside the ankle. You're pushing down. Heel comes down. You push from the back to the forward when you're walking, from the heel to the toe. You drive the inside of your calves down. It's already been a minute, so guess what? Feels pretty easy. So we're going to add about a half a turn. So I just added a half a turn. It still feels easy. And a lot of times what people do is they go, oh, I'm not working hard enough. I know the instructor is probably working harder, but we're doing endurance. Right? We want to get those muscles warm, but not only that, we want those muscles to have good memory. If we add too much resistance right away, we're going to use things that we shouldn't be using, and guess what? Over time, we're going to get hurt, because we're going to be just using muscles we normally use. And as we're doing this, we have about 15 seconds into that second, as I start to feel a little bit in my back, because I can feel that I need to round a little bit and stretch a little bit. I need to make sure that I'm dropping my knees down and my heels down and pushing more power to my breath and dropping my body. Now, I'm going to add a half a turn. Okay? I'm still trying to do the same speed, but guess what? Now, I've got to push more. Down, my spine's going to come a little lower. Down, I've got to round it a little bit, and when I come up, I have to push down my butt and breathe in, pull my abs up, extend upward. I go down. It's like doing a squat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can come up. I bring my hands in closer, or if you want to come down, your hands are close to you. You come down like, you can't come down like this when you're spinning. Only unless you're standing. So if you're standing, then you have an arch in that lower back when you start, okay? If you're standing and you want to go straight up like this, you have an arch here and then round. If I go into hover position, third position, I'm going to put my butt back. I've got to bring my, initially bring my knees up high, right? So that I can really push down from that ball of foot. And every time I drop the inside of that arch or the heel, I can feel a little half circle, right? And my back, I don't feel that it's flat, but when I look at it, it is. But I feel like I'm rounding this because I'm getting air in here. Now if I want to take off, I'm going to add half a turn. Now what do I do? Now I have to sink down into the pedal, and I have to push from, use a lot of muscles from my core. Psoas, iliopsoas. Doesn't matter what muscle it is. What matters is that you have to shift your weight. You're not shifting your ankle, but you're shifting your weight from, not all the way from hip to hip, but from butt to butt, from one butt cheek to the next. And you're using your waist, you're using your breath, but you've got to pull up to push down. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to back it down. Flat road. Guess what? We're at 4:40 already. That's been 5 minutes that we've been riding and talking. Look how easy that was. And now to stretch, you're going to drop your elbows, round that lower back. Bring your hands in, closer together. You're going to push up, breathe into the chest. And when I say stretching, you're really not stretching. What you're doing here is you're also working triceps. You're working rhomboids, you're working upper back. If I get tired here in that core and I need a break, guess what? I can take over with my upper body, right? I still have to, this time I have to really breathe in and I have to lift from here, not from here. That's what has to stay down. I have to lift up from my hip flexor and feel a stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. And slow it down. So that's your first lesson for today. That only took about 5 minutes and that's it. So stay tuned to Ellen Yates for lessons of spinning or